welcome to the GeForce SC2 Pro-Am. I am Day 9.
And I am H to the Husky. And Sean, we are looking at two new players here. In the top center is going to be Southpaw, and his opponent is a very happily named Onelove.
That is true. He does not have 2 or 3 or 4. He has exactly 1, and it is StarCraft 2 Husky.
Yes, nice. And this is going to be from the amateur division of the tournament. We're trying to cast some of the games every week. They are highly entertaining. Plus, we get to enjoy their names. I always enjoy seeing people's names that they come up with here. So it will be Protoss versus Zerg, and the map is going to be Metalopolis.
And you know, I will say that it's a good chance, as we've said before, to get a lot of practice games in. There's a lot of tournaments, single elimination, open registration, and if you play one best of 3, to get your nerves eaten away at you and perform poorly,
absolutely,
you're out. But in the NVIDIA Pro-Am, you have 5 weeks of guaranteed action.
And the cool thing about it, Sean, is again, we mentioned this before, but just to recap, anyone was able to sign up for this tournament. We're planning to do more tournaments in the future. We had nearly 10,000 people sign up, hoping for more next time. We'll see. And again, it is 5 or 6 weeks of guaranteed best of 3s, which is a lot of fun.
We do see a drone scout moving out by Onelove. And up in the north position, we see Southpaw building pylon and gateway next to one another. And almost always you see a gateway built at the ramp, but we've seen players like Cruncher actually not doing this as frequently lately. We see Onelove also moving up with that drone. He will be able to scout the front. We see a very standard gateway followed by a simulator opening. Meanwhile, in camp, Onelove. Looks like is there a drone? Yeah, he hit a drone! Oh, he managed to get the hatch down because you know what is my least favorite thing in the whole world, Mike?
I am going to guess dying, and then second is going to be proxy pylons blocking your hatcheries.
That is right. Hatcheries blocking my front. Well, actually...
Look at this pro. Do you see him? He is so stuck. Let's go check him out. Oh, never mind. He's back to working. But, yeah, so he's going to be scouting around. Does the gas steal here? And you were mentioning the gateway placed right there. It does help out. I mean, it's a nice little wall in there at your main base. Plus, you don't lose the travel time for mining. So it can give you a slight amount of minerals more than you would normally have.
That is absolutely true. And whoa, this is actually a very clever play by Onelove. He builds the gas geyser, and in this spot, a lot of players just say, well, you know what, I'm not going to get the chance to go for my usual 3-gate sentry, so I'll respond by doing this funky change. But what we see the Zerg do is cancel and then get re-scouting, and you saw a Zealot building before the Cybernetics core, and already a proxy pylon getting planted by Southpaw. Really wants to make certain that the gateway warp in can happen ASAP. Either that, or this is the longest distance cannon rush we have ever seen.
Absolutely, and the gas once again did get canceled. The hatchery just now finishing up for Onelove, and so the Protoss player was able to secure that second gas. Protoss players in this matchup can go for Colossus, or we've seen Archons used heavily now, and so getting that second gas is absolutely dire. And you're mentioning the sentries. Looks like that drone did get taken out by some probes there, and yeah, so you also need the gas for the sentries if you do plan to do that 3-gate. So overall, gas is kind of an important resource.
That is true, and you know why we call Onelove the Beano Zerg? Because he has absolutely no gas yet.
Nice. So yeah, I guess he just doesn't have gas there, Sean.
That is true. I agree with myself. Onelove now sending his tween to go find gas, his queen to go mine gas. There we go.
Child labor at its finest, and does put down the Great Tumor and a Spine Crawler for defense right now, Sean.
We see, 1 gateway, 2 gateway, 3 gateway, 4. Southpaw cannot build anymore because he will be 4-gating right at the front door. And if I were Dr. Zeus, I would even have some made-up words there. He'll be pushing with a dang dibbler or even a glazoon. Husky, wait, sit up, man. So we do see Onelove continuing to add more and more larvae. And he's having good macro, good creep spread at the front. Already has a spine crawler set up, but one of the most important things to do in this matchup is to scout along the fringes of your base. There's the pylon going down at the back, and we see only just now the Roche Warren and the Evo chamber going down. We see the warp gate is nearing completion, and Southpaw is going to have a big 4-gate at Zerg's base very soon.
It looks like the Silverlord on the right side may spot it. It was dangerously close there. He has not spotted the pylon, so he is scouting the right side and has the right idea there, but is not going to be able to kill that pylon for a little while. The units are now moving out to the center of the map, and I don't know if our Zerg player has been scouting the natural of our Protoss player, but that's why it's always crucial to scout up there, see exactly if the expansion is being built or not. You can't just assume in a situation like this, as if you do that, well, you're going to have a lot of units outside your base. He does have a second spine crawler on the way, as well as a handful of roaches, so he will have good units at least to defend, but I don't know about the positioning of these.
Overlord now sees everything moving into the front. The one advantage Zerg has for a few more seconds is the fact that the army is split. The reinforcements have not yet joined in the front, and it looks like Southpaw might end up losing a couple of these units. No, he has to stop, and it looks like, oh, the roaches dash forward and are going to be able to take out these zealots. Nice micro pulling back that one roach. Onelove getting hit by stalkers from the right side, and Onelove is going to have to deal with forces coming from all sides, but Southpaw having a little bit of difficulty controlling units from both angles.
He is going to take out an Overlord, or not, but his units were separated there the entire battle. Zealots running to their death right there, so this 4-gate has been held, and it looks like adding on that other gateway as well. Continuing to warp in units here, but he's going against a lot of roach numbers. I don't know if he's killed a single one at this point. He is going to attempt to get out of here. Will lose yet another Zealot, so as far as holding off a rush, I feel like Onelove is in a pretty good spot.
Southpaw quite far behind at this point. 20 probes for Southpaw, 23 probes for Onelove, but the 11 roaches really helping him keep that lead. Now he's going back to drone production, adding on these extractors. Nothing yet done with the Evo chamber. No need to throw down any spore crawlers, as he saw clearly a 4 warp gate was at his door. However, now's a good time to begin getting those upgrades. Southpaw taking a little bit of a later nexus, as of course the 4 warp gate will delay that. But keep in mind, those Stalker Sentry pushes are still so gosu.
Gosu, and again, he does have those 4 gates, but I just don't know if warping in rounds and rounds of units are going to be enough. I mean, he has 39 supply versus the 58. That is one horrible thing about the 4-gate. Not only is your expansion timing delayed, but you also aren't going to have any tech to follow it up with. You can see our Zerg player working on the layer, producing 10 drones at once, so he's not getting antsy here. He's not going, oh, I'm ahead, I'm going to try and crush him, because really, if you go against a 4-gate, they can reproduce their army quickly, so you hit them where it hurts, and that is going to be the worker production, which is exactly what Onelove is going to do.
And Southpaw, forgetting to put guys in the second assimilator, we see that it actually has not even had any gas mined edit. That's going to hurt a lot as he tries to add on more and more sentry numbers, which are increasingly becoming a critical part of PvZ mid-game. I will say, though, I love that Southpaw recognized that the push wasn't going to work and backed up to expand. It's very easy to begin an all-in and to erroneously commit to it when it's not working. There are always options to follow through. Though Southpaw is behind, he could pull some miracles, perhaps with my favorite miracle unit, the DT.
Yes, the DT, indeed. We have seen that many, many times in StarCraft history. I'm thinking back to StarCraft 1, Sean. Still a miracle unit even then. They've just been working miracles for years.
As a matter of fact, I have a good buddy, Tristan, who always butchers PvZ games, gets Dark Templar, and wins anyways. And the emails he sends me with his replay packs always have these amazing titles to them, like A Saga of Love and Loss, told in a style both comic and tragic. And then I open it up and I laugh and compliment him on his wins. So Southpaw, you can join the elite class of players who win games they shouldn't be allowed to.
And also the ones who mine gas off of more than one geyser, so he does have that on the way. We do have a Spire. What do you think about this transition into Mutalisk, Sean? You say that you love them.
I really love Mutalisk.
All right.
There, I said it.
There.
Now, the fact to note is that we've seen a lot of Roach Zergling play become quite popular, and it's important to get a lot of gas so that you can get the upgrades like the armor, like the speed for the Roach, like the metabolic boost for the Zergling, but then suddenly you don't need as much gas anymore, and it builds up and builds up and builds up, so you can suddenly get a swell of Mutalisks in the mid-game, which catches lots of Protosses off guard, and even if they're prepared for it, it's still very difficult to deal with because of how fast those mutas are.
Especially since he's working towards that Colossus tech, he can also make those Corruptors if he decides to. Right when the Spire is finishing, Zerg player at about 650 gas as well as 1,000 minerals. He may get supply block making these Mutalisks. No, is instead going for Corruptors before the Mutalisks, and I think he even scouted the Robo, so he will definitely be prepared for these Colossus when they get here. Not going to be able to do any sort of harassment, though, with these.
I mean, it looks like Onelove might have a precog back at home base. He's preparing with the Corruptors for the Robos that haven't been built yet. So he's going to send... What were they called in Minority Report? Were they called Future Police?
Something like that, but...
Protectors of things that haven't happened quite yet necessarily.
Yeah, and that flows off the tongue exceptionally well. Though he does have full map vision now with his overlords, positioning them everywhere. I can see multitudes of overlords just floating around, seeing the entire map, which means our Protoss player are going to be stuck in his base. And you can see the macro following up that 4-gate is slowing down his unit production. Only 79 supply to 126. And this is where the Zerg player decides, I'm going to start getting more upgrades. Looks like he's working on the +2 armor. And +1 attack is on the way for Protoss, just starting those Colossus.
And you know, though Protoss is behind, Zerg is getting into that dangerous territory where it's the expensive on food, cheap on resource unit. I mean, you can get so many roaches so quickly and hit max and be like, yeah! And then you attack, and 3 force fields split your army up, and the Colossus Stalker force obliterates you. So in a sense, Southpaw is getting a little bit lucky here because his opponent is making the perfect composition for his Stalker Colossus ball to crush. The one concern, though, is that Onelove has begun preemptively building way more Corruptors than necessary. I mean, we just have now Colossus number 1 joining the fray, realizing that he might not be welcome in this world.
Yeah, and Southpaw, if he was able to scout this, could have just canceled his Colossus, used it on either gateways or some sort of Templar tech, and then those Corruptors literally would have done absolutely nothing. But for now, he's not getting an Observer until just now. I believe it just finished. I don't know if it's flying down there yet or not. There it is right there, joining with his cannon. So there will be nothing unseen at that location, and he may use it to clean out a location for his 3rd base. So, I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to the timing and the unit composition, as both players just seemingly want to macro up.
And this is a really interesting technique that I've seen Huck use quite a lot in his games, where he just goes for 3 bases with Protoss and plays relatively slow, just trying to mass up a very nice army of Colossi and Stalkers, playing defensively, and in a sense waiting until he hits 200 food before he pushes out. He's just trying to encourage the Zerg to engage in bad positions, make bad trades, and the one way to deal with it is exactly what Onelove is doing a lot of expanding, getting up better and better resources, and oh, I love these upgrades coming up, and ooh, we do see a hive en route. Now this means that the Broodlords will be coming surprisingly early.
Yeah, and that's going to be extremely difficult to deal with. It looks like he's pooping out a little fake Zealot here to try and scout around. Zealot decides not to do that, but if he does, he is going to spot the Twilight Council on the way. He will see more of the Colossus on the way as well. There he goes, scouting around, seeing exactly what's going on. And again, you mentioned playing off of that 3 base. I feel like really that's the only option for Protoss at this point, but he is going to have difficulty dealing with Broodlords if he doesn't get out that Blink, as Stalkers without Blink, I swear, are as dumb as Dragoons were in StarCraft 1 versus those Broodlings.
Nothing are as dumb as Dragoons in StarCraft 1, Husky. How dare you say such a thing?
You?
Those Protoss pros spent years trying to get their Dragoons to just do what they were told. That is the reason why there are 6 dragons in that game.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
If you don't know anything about Brood War lore, then I just feel bad for you, because there is no time to talk about it right now. Southpaw taking a 3rd base, getting up both those geysers, and continuing to mass up a nice Stalker Colossus force. We do see the +2 ground armor right on the heels of that armor upgrade. And there's the Blink. There it is.
There it is.
Go ahead
and click on that one, Sean. We'll see if that cues it up right there. Nope, doesn't work.
Damn.
All right, so it does look like our Zerg player is maxed out. How many roaches is he up to? He has 49 roaches. That's nearly 100 supply in just roaches. So really, I feel like the time is ticking for him to do something, because this is going to allow the Protoss to slowly kind of claw away at that supply discrepancy.
And Southpaw has not yet morphed these into Wharf Gates, but has an excellent defensive position. And I believe there's a little tiny hole where those Zerglings can actually work their way through, but it looks like he's hitting with roaches at the front. Oh no, an amazing attack catches the Colossi off guard, exactly what the Protoss did not want, and the overwhelming roach numbers just crushing everything. Oh no, they're on a move command. Oh, that hurts so much. And there's the LOL Poon. My God, Southpaw trash-talking himself. Of course, a little bit of friendly banter there, and there's the GGU on 3 bases, and Onelove is going to reveal the truth.
That he is indeed on 4 bases.
There it
is.
He
had the crackling speed upgrade nearly completed, +3 armor for our Zerg player. And Sean, I feel like this is a classic Protoss sitting back, not realizing how far behind he is as the Zerg takes the entire map play.
I will say, though, that Southpaw, I think, was playing it out perfectly, just got caught at an absolutely atrocious angle, but you got to give him credit for realizing that this game is about having fun. If his whole army gets
This is
mauled,
true.
don't be like, oh, it isn't fair. I should be given wins twice every Thursday. No, indeed, he just types in LOL pwn.
LOL pwn.
And at first I thought that was the Zerg, and I was about to chastise him, but Onelove calmly just continuing to macro and micro, and Southpaw lulzing his little heart out because he's having fun.
Yes, I love Southpaw, and so good luck to him in the future of the StarCraft ROM. And I want to mention, guys, again, anyone can sign up for this. It is super fun. I love casting these games. I don't know about you, Sean. Do you love casting these games?
I love it so much that we're going to go cast yet another one. Go to GEFORCE.com for more info. Once again, that's GeForce.com. Or I guess it's GeForce.Sevo.com. Look, there is a URL. It's in the comments of the video.
Below, yeah.
Don't listen to me. Trust what is typed. I have someone else do that for me. Whew! But either way, definitely go check it out. Support the tournament. And definitely hop in and join the fun. For now, I'm Day9.
And I am H to the Husky. We'll see you guys next time.